Hi, everybody. Long time no see. I know I had a couple of crazy weeks, but I finally was able to go and see a live boxing event once again, and it was pretty goddamn amazing. And I can't wait. God damn it. Do you guys hear my neighbors? They're so fucking loud. But I cannot wait to discuss this week with you guys. This fight week we had Thursday fights, which were amazing and set us up for the weekend. So I'm just gonna wait for people to get in here. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that my stream's not laggy or anything. And then we can get started talking about all things boxing weekend. Oh, that's my phone. Yes, I'm just gonna give it like a minute or two to see people in here. Hi, Damien. ¿Cómo estás? Damian or Damien? I don't know which one you prefer. But man, great fucking weekend for boxing. Again, we started on Thursday on Ring City, USA, which honestly has been so freaking amazing to me. I missed having Thursday night fights since the Telemundo days. And was it Telemundo or was it Telefutura? I don't remember, but I love me a weekday fight. It kind of makes me have like a little bit of sanity. And I know Top Rank did the summer series on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I did miss that. Addy Boxing Talk, how are you? Hello. So I love the Ring City USA cards. They are so fun. It's these guys who kind of come in and want to give us their best, and they gain a new fan in me every time. It's guys that I'm already familiar with most of the time, but I do enjoy seeing these performances on Ring City USA. And their production is fucking awesome. So I really enjoy those. Damien says, I'm good. Virgil had a badass performance. Yes, he did. And we will get into that. Micah, how are you? Ring City been so good on it. It almost. Let me highlight these comments. I don't know why. Hey, that would be funny though, but no, because I don't think Machado would volunteer to make himself look so bad. Well, I mean, he was looking amazing until he wasn't. So shout out to Fierros, Angel Fierros, I believe first name is Angel, who took the fight in short notice and still managed to come in and deliver such a jaw-dropping performance, especially against someone like Machado, who was looking to basically redeem himself. He had two knockout losses against Andrew Cancio, right? That those were to the body, and, he got knocked out to the head this time against Fierro, who had been down previously twice. So amazing performance. I am really happy with that. And I mean, yes, it's good. Showbox cards have been really good lately too. So fuck yeah, man. Like just boxing from anywhere we can get it. And it's free and you can watch it on Twitch, which I love how accessible it is. You can watch that shit on Twitch. Amazing. Hello, Dr. Pepper. How are you? Adi, I think it's because it's a Thursday and you're not used to getting fights on Thursday. So I think that's what it might be. But shit, I love the Ring City. I was already in Texas. I got to Texas Thursday afternoon, so I was in my hotel room watching that, and it was an amazing show. I've been working a lot. I went to Guanajuato. I'm back now. I was able to cover the fight on Saturday, and you know what? Let's start. Let's get started. Let's talk about it. I'm pretty sure you guys watched the undercards, but if you didn't, there was pretty nice competitive bouts. We even had an upset. We had a guy from Chihuahua, I believe his name is Hernandez, who was pretty dominant in his previous fights, but here comes oh my god. Remind me what his name is. I was tweeting all about him on Saturday. Adi, you know this. This this guy comes in. The guy has 3 defeats in his record, and just completely outboxes the kid. He completely makes him look foolish, makes him miss. And he was actually the one that Martin. Yes, thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Micah. Martin, right? This kid who just looks impressive as hell, outboxing him, making him look foolish because Hernandez keeps missing. And then my favorite part of the whole thing was when he walked to the middle of the ring. He walked to the middle of the ring and he said, right here, because he knew that his opponent was just chasing him around. And I laughed so hard. at that. And I loved his confidence. He fought a fight knowing that he couldn't lose. And oftentimes that is the demise of these Mexican boxers who come in and have, finally face somebody with a little bit more boxing ability, with a little bit more ring generalship, with a little bit of more movement, right? They kind of don't know how to approach that. So congrats to Martin. That was an amazing performance. I was there too. Oh my God, I was there. Should have bought you a beer. Should have had a beer since everybody there didn't give a fuck about the mask stuff. Hi, Chris. Yes, finally. Um, Hernandez worked good. Don't get me wrong. Martin was getting caught with some very lethal shots, but I think it was the fact that Hernandez missed so much, right? That made him basically lose the fight. So that was a pretty good fight there. We had a battle of the Lopez's, right? With Marcelino, who's from Argentina, and I forgot the other one's name, but he's from Mexico. That was a pretty good fight as well. Marcelino dropped him about 2 or 3 times. I was getting a beer with my friend when that was happening, so honestly, like, I wasn't really super paying attention. But I know that he won. He looked ripped. He had like those big old muscles, right? So good for him. And out of Joel Diaz's training camp, was Pete in the building? I don't know. I'm not sure actually, but I didn't see him. I saw Robert and his and Virgil's other 2 trainers, his dad and Hector Beltran, who are also in his corner. I don't think Pita even knows who the fuck I am. Pita doesn't even know I exist. But let's keep talking about the fight. Yes, that was a great fight, great action. Then the co-main event, which was Ceniza Estrada versus La Vispa, who was a Mexican, 13 title defenses, which to me, that is crazy. Women's boxing is very popular in Mexico, and, these girls come and they come to fight, and then she did get dropped once, I believe, and Ceniza was able to capture the WBO. It was a WBO, right? Belt. So good for Ceniza. She's the shit. She has such great skills. She comes forward. Very fun, fan-friendly fights, and I think that's great that we put her as a co-main event under such a nice card on the zone, promoting women's boxing. I am super happy for her. She's a beast, she's not just a pretty face because she's beautiful. She's only 104 pounds. WBA, yes. And Jesus, like, this woman can do it all. Like, she's small, she's cute, she's pretty. Here she is kicking ass. So props to Ceniza, man. Like, I'm glad that she's got that WBA title now. Aside with unified belts, I think she will, and I think it's gonna be amazing to see her accomplish so much. We saw her throw some shade there at Marlene Esparza as well, even though they already had a fight. I feel like that a lot of people want that rematch just because Marlene Esparza did suffer that cut, if you guys remember, in the undercard of Canelo versus Kovalev. So a lot of people do want the rematch versus Marlene Esparza, right? Because it was such an entertaining fight, period. But I think Ceniza ultimately beats her again if it does happen. See, that's the thing. I think she might not move up until she tries to either capture another belt, but maybe so. Maybe if it's not a possibility to be able to unify, I don't see why not move up to 108. Ceniza can punch. Ceniza can kick all of our asses. So let's move on to the main event. Let's go to the main event. Virgil Ortiz Jr. making, his, I think, 4th fight at welterweight or 5th at welterweight, and the kid is settled in. We saw a lot of criticism towards him for missing weight. Tough thing because it is the 3rd time, so you got to understand why people are upset, right? You got to understand that it's valid for people to be upset at Ortiz for missing weight a 3rd time. His dad was very, very defensive about the fact that, it's the scale that they keep providing them, and he did show me. I did see with my own eyes. I pinky promise y'all. I'm pinky promising y'all. Virgil's dad did show me a picture and a video of Virgil on weight according to their scale. He was 146.8 before leaving the room. So I can understand both sides' frustration. However, I feel like because it's happened 3 times, I can understand why people are upset, and I think they have to take these measures in order to buy 10 fucking weight scales and put them down and get in all of them and you get on it and everybody else get on it and see if it's correct for everybody. You know what I mean? I think these are the steps that they are going to now take because they see the fans' response to him missing the weight, right? So I know Hooker. I got there early. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but I did tweet it that I got there at 10:30, even though the weigh-ins were at 1. So I was there pretty early, and Hooker came down twice. Let me pull up my phone. I have him on my phone. I have the pictures on my phone. Hooker came down twice to weigh himself. He would come down, weigh himself, go back up, come down, weigh himself, come back up. So I feel like that's what he was doing. He was making sure that his weight matched the weight in that scale. So I don't know if y'all can see. It's kind of bad because of the ring light. Oh my God. But there's Hooker. No one's there. This is just a picture. It's just me and Ryan O'Hara. If you can see the wider shot, I'm on my laptop sitting down. And Hooker keeps coming down and weighing himself. He came down twice that I saw. Maybe he was there earlier. So these are the measures that he was taking to make sure that he was on weight, right? So again, I don't think it's that huge of a deal because it is always by a couple of ounces and not like pounds that Virgil is overweight. But I do understand why other people are. You know what I mean? I do understand that why people are upset. Dr. Pepper says just a reason to hate. Yeah, sometimes, right? Sometimes when you already dislike a fighter and he fucks up or something, then you kind of use stuff like their fuck ups to be like, bitch. See what I mean? And Virgil took it very, very badly too and said, don't come for me, don't judge me and stuff like that. So he was 147.6. And again, I have a video. Let me see if I can show you guys a video where he weighs in and he immediately turns and looks at his dad. Like when they say that he missed weight, he immediately turns and looks at his dad. So I feel like, let me see. Look at his face when he misses weight. He immediately turned to his dad. I was like, yo, like what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, I swear, they showed me pictures. And Virgil was at 146.8 right before going down and weighing in. So they say it is a scale problem, but it's still at the end of the day their responsibility to be on weight. So I can see why both sides are frustrated. But it was a tremendous fight. I feel like Virgil did an amazing performance. Hooker had an amazing performance. I knew Hooker came to fight. A lot of people were kind of just dismissing Hooker, but like, yeah, he got knocked out by Ramirez. Virgil's gonna do him even dirtier. No, like Hooker against Alex Saucedo, that was a tremendous fight. And of course, Saucedo doesn't have the power that Virgil does, but it does give you kind of and again, before losing to Ramirez, he was giving Ramirez an amazing fight, right? When it was in the middle of the ring, it was all Hooker. When Ramirez would take him to the ropes, it was when he would start taking over, right? And we kind of saw the similar approach with Virgil when he was kind of having more success in the middle of the ring, right? So when Hooker was having more success in the middle of the ring, 4th round, I actually gave it to Hooker. He landed some bombs on Virgil, and Virgil took those very well. He didn't appear bothered. He didn't seem hurt. So he actually does have a little a good chin, right? Adi says people were overreacting because they say black fighters are get criticized. No, it's true in a way, right? We've talked about this, Adi, how black fighters do get like more criticism than usual, but I don't think it's the same in this example because, like you mentioned, it was zero point 0.6 ounces. Ounces. I mean, points. Yeah, like it's it's half a pound basically, right? And it's like the people that they claim got more criticism missed weight by pounds, right? By pounds. So it's yeah, it there is going to be a difference, when it's by this much, like a not even a pound to like several pounds, and it is kind of different. Virgil Senior, yes, he is. You guys should. I just uploaded an interview with him after this live. You guys should go check it out. Both Virgil and his dad, they're very disciplined. They're very well spoken. They're very, their head is in the right place. You know what I mean? Raul says, I believe Virgil. Oh, I once weighed biscuits. Oh my god, you guys crack me the fuck up. I'm going to I'm going to screenshot that because that is freaking hilarious. Hello Celtic, how are you? But yes, what let's talk now about I was like, oh, you went to Hooker versus Ramirez. I wish I would have gone to that. That was an amazing fight. Amazing 5 rounds. Hooker, I think, is just he has skinny legs, man, and I feel like he just falls. I feel Virgil was throwing everything hard. Hooker was taking them all to the head. And if you remember the post-fight interview, Virgil does mention that. He says, I knew he was taking my shots to the head, so that's when I switched it to the body. I saw when he dropped them, was it in the 6th round, right? When he dropped um, Hooker, and Hooker kind of looked very defeated already and like kind of like contemplating if he wanted to like even get up, because he did make the count, but it was like already in like 7 or 8 count when he was already barely getting up. But he's like, should I even get up? And you gotta give it to Hooker, man. I love the post fight interview because, guys, please, if you're at fights, don't boo. Like, what's up with y'all booing? I hate that. Hooker came in, he gave it his all. He was, he gave Virgil a war. Most of Virgil's opponents aren't that offensive with Virgil once they start feeling the power, right? Hooker got knocked down in the 6th round and then came back and started trading with Virgil even more, which doesn't make sense to us, but he still did that. So it sucks that we saw someone as good as Hooker, who gave us such a great fight, get booed. And I don't like that. Can you guys explain why you guys do that? Please don't do that. Shit pisses me off. But this guy gave everybody the bird. He said, fuck y'all, and I'm a warrior. And I'm like, I heard that. So props to Hooker. I don't, I what I've seen the most criticism from Virgil is that he gets hit a lot. I don't think he gets hit that much, but I do agree that he does need to tighten up his defense if he does want to take on the champions. I did interview Virgil. I also have an interview with Virgil up on the channel already. If you guys want to, after, go and check it out, share it with your friends and shit. Virgil does want Crawford. He wants whoever, the top dogs. Virgil Sr. tells me they straight up flatline Keith Thurman. So these are things that they truly believe, and I want to see those fights, just not yet. I do want Virgil to tighten up his defense a little bit. But maybe that's just who he is as a fighter. And the reason why he's so offensive is because he, till now, has a good chin, and he feels like he can take those punches in order to continue for him to keep throwing the punches that he throws. You know what I mean? So let me know. I want to know and discuss with you guys what you thought of Virgil's performance. For me, he passed with flying colors, even though, again, people are going to say, well, they only stopped the fight because Hooker broke his arm or dislocated his arm or something. And you can see it when he throws a punch and he like immediately turns around and you see him bracing his arm, right? It was like an automatic instinct, right? So yes, but he kept getting his head popped back since the 1st round. Like, he had already been put down. There's no doubt in my mind that the outcome would have still been maybe a couple more rounds, because Virgil had him hurt a couple times, right before the bell. So I do feel like the outcome would have still been the same should Hooker have broken his arm or dislocated his arm or not. I think Virgil passed with flying colors. I think he did what he said he was going to do. I like that he doesn't, he has somebody hurt and he's immediately going to, get crazy. He doesn't get reckless. He does keep his composure, and he does still attack and is more ferocious in a way, but at the same time, he's still smart about it. So I do like that. I think just tightening up his defense a little bit, and then he will, I think his time will come. He's 22 years old. I don't see why he should face the champions. But hey, Teofimo talked and called and talked and called and talked and called, and he did it. And one thing I don't understand is us boxing fans, we constantly get mad about contenders taking the easy route or padding their record or fighting, as you guys call them, because I hate that, bums or cans. And Virgil is not doing this. All of Virgil's fights so far have been very, very well matched. Well matched, not like, oh, he's going to beat him. Well matched in the way that they're bringing him up slowly and making his opponents a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder. Mauricio Herrera had never been knocked out like that. He had never been knocked out. He had never been stopped. I think he beat Danny Garcia, and Virgil folded him. Virgil folded Herrera, who's a durable ass fucking dude. I don't care about, he's old or whatever. He had never been stopped, period. And Virgil folded him, right? Orozco had went the distance with Ramirez, who's a unified champ. Virgil folded him, right? Solomon had one defeat, but had not been stopped. Virgil stopped them. These are guys that, he's taking necessary opponents. He's not just taking whoever the fuck. So I think, just even if he loses, okay, well, he loses. There's no shade to losing to Crawford, right? Or any top welterweight at the matter. The same thing that happened with Canelo and Floyd, or he can just learn from it and moves on. That's it. I like that he's not scared to be defeated, right? Because he said, I don't care if I'm not ready, I still want the fight. That tells me he's not scared to lose a record, and I love that. I wish all fighters were not scared to lose a record. I want that. I want more boxers to be calling out the greats. I want more boxers to be wanting to test themselves, to believe in themselves. I'd rather have that than padded records, right? So I don't know. I think both fighters did great. Both fighters deserved applause, not boos. So, hello, Hector. How are you? Uh, why don't everybody tells me that after? Like, I saw you. Why don't you say hi to me at the fights? Say hello. I'll say hi. I don't bite. I love talking to people. I met with one of my Twitter friends. They're two of my Twitter friends who had not met them, and they like boxing, and I met them and had a beer with them in between fights, because you guys know the zone loves to drag these fucking bitches out. Yeah, if you guys see me, I'm trying to go for Canelo versus Saunders. So if you guys do see me there, please say hi to me. I'm not gonna not say hi back. Who do you want? I think Virgil should take on the PBC 147s, like the B-level guys, the Granados, the Figueroas of the world, right? Those type of fighters that are B-level, just keep going up slowly. Again, he's 22. I don't think there's a rush for anything. He's in a great path. I feel like just guys that are 147, just the B-level guys, that would be that. All of that would make for great fights. Virgil took weight. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way, and a lot of people felt that way since before when he fought Vargas. Vargas, when he fought Vargas, the Vargas that dropped Amir Khan, right? Samuel Vargas, I believe his name. He was taking a lot of punches to the body, and a lot of people were like, "Wait a minute," right? And it's a valid thing to notice, right? To say, hey, maybe tighten up your defense a little bit, and then maybe you can have the top dudes. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a valid thing. Thank you, Aria. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that I found him in the hotel. They were booing him because he wasn't ready for, he said, oh, I didn't know that. That's when they started booing him? No, but they're booing him since the beginning. As soon as he did his ring walk, they're fucking booing him. They booed Crawford too. As soon as they saw him on the screen, people were booing him. And I'm like, yeah. But that's a Spence state, so I can't, I can't blame that. I don't like the booing, man. It sounded like excuses. I was pretty neutral. Ooh. Virgil versus Jesse Vargas would be pretty great, damn it, George. That's a really good one. But, I don't know if the zone would do that to Jesse Vargas, who keeps taking L's on their network, right? On their streaming site. Because he had a draw right? Vargas had a draw, and then he lost to Mikey Garcia, right? And imagine he's just gonna keep losing to RGBA motherfuckers, and on his own home of DAZN, right? But then again, what else is DAZN gonna do with him? Who else is he gonna fight outside of DAZN, since DAZN doesn't really fight with PBC fighters either most of the time. So that would be interesting. I would love to see it. I think that would be a great fight because again, Jesse Vargas is a two division world champ, right? Two division world champion, and it'd be a great fight because shit, Jesse Vargas, another former. If Virgil keeps taking guys like these former champs, that yes, they're already older, but they are still former champs. I think that'd be a great test for Virgil. That's a really good good fight, George. I mean, Mikey Garcia put him down, and that was entertaining. So it would be cool, and you use these type of fights as kind of sort of measuring sticks. And yes, style makes fights, and yes, Virgil has this crazy power that we all keep seeing. I mean, 17 knockouts already. That's crazy. I actually have a signed glove from Virgil that he gave me when he invited me to his camp, and when he was like 13, I think, yeah, like 13 KOs. So this is a signed glove. I raffled one, I think. I'm pretty sure I raffled one when he was that many fights, and look at him now. Adi says, I don't think Virgil's ready for Crawford, Spence, or Keith or Thurman. The thing is, like, a lot of people dismiss Keith Thurman, man. Like, I know he lost to Pacquiao, but that was a much more competitive fight than most people like to admit. I think because they love Manny Pacquiao, one, but two, because Thurman was hurt twice, right? He got hurt when he got dropped in the was it the second or first round? Might have been the first round. And then when he got hurt to the body, I believe in the ninth round with a body shot by Manny, right? And I think those things kind of make you seem like a little bit sus. I think if he would beat him and knock him out, it would be to the body as well. But I think people are underestimating Keith still, Hi, Jeremiah. How are you? Beautiful. Spence Crawford not fighting each other is embarrassing. I am so fucking tired of that, Manny. I am so fucking tired of that. I know people are like Team Spence or Team Crawford, and they fucking ride or die till they die, right? Like they will fight strangers on Twitter.com about this shit, right? Not me. Fuck both of these dudes. Like, honestly, I'm so fucking tired of them not wanting to fight each other, of both of them making ridiculous claims. Like, Crawford, like him saying like, "Oh, this fight is behind me. It's not happening." He said, "Why? Why? Who else are you gonna fight?" And Spence with, "Oh, he deserves 30%." Bro, I get that. Given the numbers, you're going to say that Spence is the A side, right? That he's been the champion for longer, that he has the unified, which I agree with. I agree with that. I would agree myself that Errol Spence is in fact the A side and would in fact be the A side. That's my opinion. I agree with what he says about him being the A side. You might disagree. Leave it in the comments and we'll discuss it. But to me, it should be more of like, hey, motherfucker, Crawford, I want to fight you, and I'm going to prove that it's me that's the real welterweight king. And because I have a better resume, I'm not going to let, the whole PBC versus top rank shit fuck us up, and I will fight you, and I will beat you. And it should be more about the 147 legacy, especially when both of these dudes are so fucking good, right? And it just sucks. And I know that the whole PBC versus top rank is bullshit, but it sucks that Spence has much, much better opposition than Crawford because he's with PBC, right? He can fight all of the PBC welterweights, and that's a nice fucking resume, right? Spence could go without fighting Crawford and still have a great career. I'm always gonna judge him for not fighting fucking Crawford. Trust me, I am, and I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that shit. But Crawford, I can't keep giving Crawford merits for shit he did at 140. And yes, he passes the eye test. Of course he does. He's fucking great. I love Crawford, right? I love him. I don't have any doubt in my mind that he possibly could beat all the fucking PBC welterweights. I believe it. He probably could. But until I see it, I can't fucking say like anything. right? I want to see those fights. I want to be proved what I already think can happen, right? So it's just fucking frustrating, y'all. Like it's so frustrating. Both of them been saying some stupid shit, and I'm sick of it. It shouldn't be like this. It should not be like this. Sorry, I got so fucking annoyed about that. Ortiz looked good and strong. Ortiz landed good, sharp body shots and left hooks. Overall, Ortiz is the real deal. I'll give guys except Spencer. But yeah, I mean, I think he does well against the 147s, but maybe like beat them. I think Spence and Crawford are on like their prime right now, maybe already on their way out, right? Especially Crawford, who's like 30 something, right? He's like 32 or something like that. So I think, hey, see, I don't like fighting. I don't like calling fighters bums, but I do feel like he does take on opposition that's just like Ortiz should be fighting those guys. Amir Khan, right? Oh, Amir Khan versus Virgil? Damn, Virgil. No, that would be too fucking tragic. Hey, Virgil versus Mean Machine. That'd be good because Mean Machine punches fucking hard too. That'd be a great fucking fight. But yeah, at 147, Crawford's wins are not stellar. They're nothing to rave about. Ortiz is legit. I like to see. Oh, that'd be good. I feel like it won't happen. Maybe it'll happen at 154 because Danny Garcia is moving to 154, which I don't think is a good idea. He didn't even have power at 147. All his power was at 140. So what is his power gonna do at 154? I don't think that's a good idea. But to each his own, and you know. Virgil's a rising star. No one running to fight Virgil. Well, the thing about Virgil Ortiz is that he is considered high risk, low reward, right? If Crawford beats him, people will just be like, well, he's too green, which he might be, right? Virgil's too green, or same with Spence. But if Virgil goes in there and knocks him the fuck out, that's gonna not be good for them, right? So I feel like that's the thing. It's high risk, low reward. Matt, hello. How are you, Matt? Nice to see you again here. How many chances Virgil need for taking on the best? I feel like in less stacked division, he would already be a champ. Well, I think at 140 he would have been a champ, but that was too much conflicting. Because RGBA is with Ramirez, and Ramirez is a champ. And at the time when Virgil was at 140, the belts were tied in the World Boxing Super Series or with his stablemate. And Mikey was at 140 at that time too. So Mikey at 140, what's his name? Ramirez at 140, belts tied up. I feel like they had no choice but to like move up. And also Virgil he's growing into his body, I guess. He's 22. He's getting his man strength and stuff. So at 140, I feel like he would be champ. At 147, I feel like it's not that he needs tests, it's that, he's young. And I think he should be given the chance to properly rise up in his career and not just be thrown into the wolves like that. And again, people keep making references with Fernando Vargas, right? Because he keeps saying, I do want Crawford, whether I'm ready or not. His dad told me differently. His dad told me that as a dad, he'd rather Virgil wait, a fight or two more, which I think is the good, I agree. But it's just high risk, low reward at this point, I feel like. Expenses is the reason it's not happening. Both those motherfuckers, both. I don't not take any sides on this shit. They both suck for that. Both of them. Because Crawford just being like, no, that's not happening. Fuck you. Like, I want to see that. Who else do you want to see Crawford fight? Who else, realistically? I just want to see him against Spence. Yes, Porter would be a good fight. Ugas, all of those would be good. Same with Spence. Fighting Ugas would be cool. He fought Porter. That was cool. He fought Danny Garcia. That was cool too. But that's not what we want. That's not. It's like when they're like, you're like, can I have a Coke? And they said, we got Pepsi. Is that okay? We're getting Pepsi. We're fucking getting Pepsi in the boxing world. We want Coke, but they're giving us Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? This is the best way I could put it. That's kind of the best way I could put it. I hate boxing sometimes because you guys won't fight for 20. Yeah, that's also annoying, right? When it's about money, because a lot of fights don't get made because of money. Actually, most fights. Most fights won't get made because of money. If they were like, hey, you guys get 40-40, the winner gets the extra 10%, 20%, I mean, Nita, go back to school. But you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, you guys get the equal purse, the winner gets the extra 20%. Do that, motherfuckers. Like, that, I don't get that. Like, I feel like as long as I would be getting paid a decent amount, I don't give a fuck what my opponent's getting paid. As long as I'm getting taken care of. If I'm getting taken care of and I'm making a good amount that's reasonable for me, that it feels that it's my worth, why do I care what my opponent's making? It's just like, I don't know. I don't get that. It pisses me off. See what I mean? Like, there's two sides to this. To me, it's both. Both of them are just not with it. Spends a terrible negotiation. Um, yeah, that he deserves 30% crap. I was like, yo, you can't say shit like that. 60-40 is generous in my opinion. Crawford ducking and fighting washed up fighters, but he is champion though, so I feel like it should be 60-40 would be cool. I think 60-40 should be cool, or again 80 percent split in the middle, and then the winner gets the extra 20. Crawford won't even fight Porter. I want that fight, and Porter wants that fight. We saw them Twitter fingering each other like, I'm ready. I don't know. Crawford is always just quick to be very dismissive, because I remember when Thurman sent a contract or whatever and they claimed he wanted 10 million. They were like, oh, fuck you. You want 10 million. Negotiate. It's called negotiating. Say, no, we won't give you 10 million, but we'll give you what we give Amir Khan, which was around 2, right? And of course, Thurman is gonna say, well, no, I've had pay-per-views that were very successful. I mean, he with Pacquiao, but he did, right? And he does get great viewership. I feel like him and Josecito had one of like the highest viewed fights on TV, right, on Fox. So I feel like they could have negotiated, but Crawford was straight up like, no, you asked for 10 million. That means you're just ducking me, but trying to make it seem like you want to fight me. Like, negotiate, motherfuckers. When LA opens up and they fight, here we going. Hell yeah, the last time I went to a fight here, I don't even remember. I think it was Crawford. No, I mean, Spence versus Porter, I think. September 2019, right? Yeah, that was the last fight I attended here. But I went to one on Saturday. It was pretty cool. Spence wants 80-20, 70. Yeah, that's disrespectful to another fighter. Because he's not a contender. He's not an up-and-comer. He's another champion. Crawford wins 12 Spence, like, unanimous decision, 12 rounds? Perhaps. Honest opinion, do you believe Reynoso will do a better job polishing diamond like Virgil and Robert Garcia? I don't know. I think Garcia is doing well. Virgil's dad is doing well. I think there is that concern because, again, Fernando Vargas was with Robert Garcia when, he got fucked up by Trinidad. And again, I would encourage you guys to go watch my interview that I had with Virgil's dad, where I asked him, I'm like, what's up with, these comparisons? And he's like, well, my son is in Fernando Vargas and Crawford is not Trinidad. Right. And yeah, basically. And you can say this about any fighter, right? Every fighter has his flaws and visible, like, things that we see that like, oh, these could be better. I don't know. I don't think Eddie Reynoso should be like the scapegoat now. Like, everybody's gonna go over there when they have something wrong. I think Garcia is enough of a great trainer. He's a renowned trainer. He's paid his dues to be able to see what's happening, what Virgil needs to improve on, and then improve that on their own. Again, Virgil's 22, so I feel like and again, he keeps taking on higher and higher opposition. I feel like they're gonna start noticing these things even better and being like, okay, what do I need to change, right? On their own. But shit, I can't wait to see Andy, how he looks with Reynoso, right? Should be good. Ortiz, yeah, that I would not. I think that would even be too brutal. Like, I would be scared. I'd be scared for Amir Khan. B-side Bud needs to quit acting like he has a big fights coming up. Who is he fighting next? I know. Okay. So I was talking to Virgil's corner people. Hector Beltran, shout out to Hector Beltran. He's a great trainer. He's also one of Virgil's trainers. And I asked him, I'm like, where did that rumor come from? Because Crawford doesn't fight people on PBC and Josito Lopez is on PBC. So where did that rumor come from? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know where that rumor came from. He's like, but that never happened. So there was never any discussion. They never, no, like, I don't know where that came from. But I wonder who he is fighting next. I want to know. Crawford beats Spence and Errol knows that. Probably, but I want to see it. I want to see it. I don't want to know, oh, well, because they fought this fighter like this and they fought that other fighter like that and this fighter beat him like this and this, that means that one beats the other. I'm not really a great fan of triangle theories here, or just because, oh, well, he looked good doing this and this, stylistically maybe better, but I just want to see it. Both Crawford and Spence are nearing the end of their prime, so to see them fight before they're... Yeah, I don't want it to be like another Mayweather versus Pacquiao, but honestly, this fight, I truly believe it's not fucking happening at all. Like, dead ass, I don't think this fight is happening. And it's really annoying. Hello, Lalo's Boxing, how are you? Everybody say hi to Lalo's Boxing. I'm pretty sure he doesn't need an introduction. Everybody knows who Lalo's Boxing is. Especially if you're on the Instagram side of boxing, you definitely know who Lalo's Boxing is. So go ahead and say hi. From 10 Minutes, where Spence grew up, I'm not a fan. He's not a stand-up dude either. He always looks like he's like not interested in anything. He's always like, and then he's like, like he just could not be bothered. But Crawford is not too inviting either. Like, they both look like they'd rather not. You know that face somebody does when they'd rather not do something? That's the face they always have on. Like, they'd rather just rather not. Don't bother them. They could not be bothered to do anything. Spence is running out of opponents. They're both running out of opponents. Who the fuck is Crawford gonna fight? He already got American and Brooke, who are like the UK ones at 147. Who else is he gonna fight? Mean Machine, that was the one that they were building up to beat him, supposedly. They're both running out of opponents. Spence could get a big payday still and fight Manny Pacquiao. There's Ugas, who might happen for the WBA now, for the unification of that. So Spence has a little bit more opponents he can pick from his own stable, right? But Crawford's like, he has to keep picking out and out and out, and it's just, they're both, don't make me defend one over the other. They both piss me off. Yes, thank you. Thurman would be a good fight. I know that has his own little politics there where people are like, well, Thurman didn't want to give Spence a fight when he was champion, so now Spence won't give him one. Like, why do you guys do that? Who gives a fuck about that? Let them, like, we just want the fights. Like, we just want the fights. We don't care about, oh, he didn't give them, like, just, come on. I don't like that. Those narratives. Errol Spence doing all the heavy lifting while Crawford's trying to fight anyone elite. And that's what I mean. I want Crawford to at least fight someone elite. At 147, he has not done that. And again, I love Crawford. I do find him very, very talented. I do feel he's special. Don't get me wrong. This is not me bashing him. This is not me thinking that Spence beats him or anybody else beats him, possibly. But I want to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just want him to fight somebody elite. And I get the whole PVC shit. I get it. And it's annoying. But, oh, my God. He doesn't even want to make an effort. And that's what pisses me off. I'd get up right now and fight him. Give me 100,000. And I'll get in there and have Sinisa knock me the fuck out. No, I have to have Shields knock me out. Because Sinisa 104 pounds. That's like one of my thighs. I need to fight Clarissa Shields in one of her pay-per-views. She could fuck me up as fast as Sinisa fucked up that soccer mom looking lady. For 100. Just give me 100,000. Just give me 100,000. I'll do that shit. Pay off my fucking master's degree and put a fucking down payment on a house. Like, please. Like, that's all I need. Knock me out. I don't care. Crawford a prospect. But he went up and immediately got that, horn belt. That pissed me off. That's a hard question. Of all time, I don't know. That's a hard question. I think I'm gonna go with. See, I don't know. It's because with me, my favorite fighters come from my own emotional attachment to them in ways of memories, not like, oh, I thought they were the best fighters in the world. You know what I mean? Like most people say, oh, Mayweather or Ali or Mike Tyson or Manny Pacquiao because of um their great accomplishments, right? With me, it's mostly like I attach boxers to certain memories of mine, so that's why they're my favorite. Like my favorite is probably Eric Morales. But because when I was a child growing up, my dad would put those fights for me and I would watch those fights with my dad and that was wholesome for me and I loved his style. I loved that he didn't give a fuck. I love that he beat Pacquiao when Pacquiao was fucking up all the Mexicans. I know the rematch happened, leave me alone. But he was the first one to beat him, right? Like beat him like convincingly, right? Um I just have really good memories of Morales' fights, and I think that he's gonna be my favorite. Uh, I like I like Almaro Mero Paez again because I used to watch those with my dad. I really like Juan Manuel Marquez, even though he's kind of a hater nowadays. Like he says some questionable shit, but I think Juan Manuel Marquez was very, very underrated because at the time we had the Moraleses and the Barreras, right? And they were the ones that were kind of taking over the boxing scene, especially in Mexico. And I feel like that's why uh, Juan Manuel Marquez didn't really get, you know, a lot of recognition. But I love him a lot. Obviously, Chavez Sr. I like Salvador Sanchez. Salvador Sanchez, even though he wasn't able to, um, he died young as fuck. He died young as fuck. And he had so many accomplishments already at a young age. Holy shit. Like, Salvador Sanchez was it. And then Manny Pacquiao. Obviously, like I fuck with Manny Pacquiao so much. Like my whole household really like Manny Pacquiao, even though he kept fucking up the Mexicans. And that's where I learned not to just root for the Mexican because we always loved Manny Pacquiao. Like when Marquez knocked him out, we were happy for Marquez, but like we were quiet for like 20 minutes. We're just like, the fuck just happened? And we're all like hella fucking sad, but also happy for Marquez because we felt like he had won some of the earlier fights and they robbed him. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just, let me see. Uh, uh, hold on, I'm looking for the comments. I feel like I already Ortiz versus Spence draws 100 in Texas, bro. Imagine that fight in Texas. That would be so fucking sold out, and it would be a pay per view. I love Bud, but I can't stick up for his nonsense. Says he doesn't want to fight Porter. Is interested in Earl. Doesn't want. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Then that's what I want to tell him. Then who? Then who do you want to fight? Also, he told Ryan O'Hara, "Oh, Virgil doesn't really want me." Why the fuck would he call you out then? Like, why would he call you out right there in front of everybody? Like, what does Virgil have to do for you to believe that he does want you? Like, I don't get it. And you're right. Like, Porter messages him or on Twitter or whatever, and he's just like, no. He's like, no. Right? And it's just like, bro, please. Even if you're lying, but just at least pretend you're going to negotiate. Like, don't, why you do this? Chavez Sr., yes, he's the shit. Masses Juan Manuel Marquez is a hater, but so is Morales, unfortunately. They're both pretty, yeah, they're haters. Juan Manuel Marquez more, though. Juan Manuel Marquez says some questionable ass shit sometimes, and I'm like, please, like, stop. You're my hero. Don't say that. Like, when he was saying that he thought that Jacobs beat Canelo, remember that? He's like, I had Jacobs winning. And when people started calling him out, like, why are you saying that? Like, that's like that doesn't make sense. He's like, oh, Oscar thinks that he's gonna be able to pay me to say nice things about his fighter, and I'm just like, it's not even about that. It's just like you sound ridiculous. Oh my god, oyen mis mocos. Marquez is better because he got Raw versus Manny and Chris John. Well, yeah, but what the fuck does anybody else have to do with that? He is better though, but remember when he drank his own pee pee? And then Pacquiao made fun of him for drinking his own pee. Good times. Morales, yes. Now Jaime Munguia is under Morales. I don't know how that's gonna go. I had never seen like Morales as a trainer, and Jaime Munguia has been out of the ring for a while. Who did he fight last? I don't even remember. Was it that Nigerian kid at 160? Oh, he fought ¿cómo se llama? The one with the mustache. the Irish guy with the mustache. And that went pretty long. Salvador Sanchez at 23 years fought the yes. That's the thing. He was 23 fucking years old, beating motherfuckers who were champions in their prime, and he would just get rid of them. It would not even be like, oh, it could have gone either way. He would get rid of them. Ugh, he would have been a fucking legend even more because he died too fucking young. Let me get you up. Or you could just take a knee like after. I mean, we'd probably get fucked up after one punch, but we could just be like feel one and then take a knee and then what? Like we still get the money. Jamel Marquez fights our biggest Canelo hit. Dude, Faitelson is such a fuck. I don't get why he's even in the boxing panel. Like he does soccer. Like why are you here? Irks me. Crawford. Crawford just needs to please like. I don't think I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I really think that he would beat these guys most likely. But then why doesn't he want to show it? Johnson? Morales was just said Spence was better than Canelo. When did he say that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Sullivan, Turian. Oh, you're right. Johnson and the Golden Boy bubble. Turiano John Sullivan. Yeah, and Sullivan was the one that kind of went the distance to Spike O'Sullivan. The guy with the mustache was O'Sullivan, but Munguia Futuri. Yeah, he fought him in the little, I think in Indio, if I'm not mistaken. But that was like such a forgettable fight that I didn't even remember. Bud might as well retire. He's on some bullshit. Doesn't want to fight anymore. It's just sad, but he has a couple more months, right, with Top Rank. So let's see what. I think he should just become a free agent, like make his own fights, and then who else is? Why there would be no reason for him to not fight Spence, or even if he doesn't want to fight Spence, maybe someone at PBC, right? But we've been here for an hour, guys. Let's talk about this weekend because we get the rematch for Povetkin versus Whyte, and my birthday is Friday, y'all. Friday is my birthday, and I would love nothing more but for Whyte to get knocked out again by Povetkin. Like, I would love to see that. I'm sorry for people that like Whyte. I usually don't ever root for people. I usually just go and watch the fight or sit down and watch the fight, and I just want a good fight, right? It's very rare that I'm rooting for someone, but I just don't like Whyte, and I want Povetkin to wreck him again. I'm sorry if you guys love him. I'm sorry if I don't know. But I do want to see Povetkin get him again, get him got, So what do you guys think is going to happen for this rematch? Because this rematch, but Povetkin got COVID. If you guys remember, it got pushed back because of the COVID, right? So we've seen a lot of fighters get COVID and just not come back the same. I don't know. I mean, Povetkin's also very old. Not like ancient, but in boxing years he is, right? So he's older. Also, in the previous fight, he had already been put down by Whyte twice, right? So it was just a mistake on Whyte's part that Povetkin was able to capitalize on, right? That he was able to get that knockout victory. But he was getting hurt by Whyte. So Whyte might actually finish him this time, right? But I would love to see it. What is annoying? He just does the most. That's my birthday present, Adi. I would love for Povetkin to, for my birthday present, do that same thing all over again. I love it too. White Eagles just want to, dude. When him and Eddie started saying that, he wasn't hurt, that he was just like, that he got knocked out, but he didn't get hurt. I'm like, bro, what are you on? Like, who told you that? That makes no sense. Like, did you not see yourself already be out before hitting the floor? Please. If Whyte gets stopped again, we should never hear from him again. One can only pray. I mean, he could be like the gatekeeper for the heavyweights. But, oh my God. He was out cold before even hitting the ground. And it took him a while to get up. So I'm like, how can Eddie go on camera? And him and Eddie go on camera and then say that shit. I'm like, you guys no tienen vergüenza. Let's see what else is happening this weekend. Does anybody else know what else is happening this weekend? boxing related wise. Let's look at ESPN and let's look at their um schedule because it should be cool. This is it's a good it was a good month for boxing. I really really like this month. It was a really cool last month for boxing. So March 25th in Puerto Rico. Oh, another fight. Oh, Serrano's fighting. Serrano fighting on Thursday. Okay. Serrano and Daniela Bermudez, 10 rounds for Serrano's WBC, WBO featherweight titles. We have Abimael Ortiz versus Eduardo Baez, 8-round bantamweights. Carlos Caraballo versus Leonard Baez. Oh, there's two Baezes. Juan Carlos Camacho versus Marvin Solano, 8 rounds. Tune in for that. Luis Madiel Sanchez. Okay. Oscar Collazo versus Francisco Bonilla. So another great, I love the Ring City USA cards on March 25th, okay, Thursday. And then March 27th, Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte, 12 rounds for Povetkin's WBC interim heavyweight fighter. Oh, the Cheeseman guy. Remember the Cheeseman? Remember when Eddie did his like fights over there? Cheeseman? Ted Cheeseman against James Metcalf for 12 rounds, a vacant British junior middleweight title. Chris Congo versus Michael McKinson and some other UK motherfuckers. Oh, and Dennis Hogan is fighting on March 31st in Wales against Tim Siu. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then, yeah, that's the end of the month. But you know what we forgot to talk about that I need to talk about before I leave? We need to talk about my boy Bertabiev. My boy Bertabiev got another knockout victory. He did look a little rusty. But remember, he did have the COVID too, and he had been out for like a year and a half or something like that. So, I would love to see him against Smith Jr. because they have both been down before, and that they both have tremendous power, and that would be an amazing fight. Bertabiev versus ¿cómo se llama? versus Smith Jr. would be a fucking badass fight, and I would love to see that. I do want what, dude, that should have happened, but it didn't. I hope it happens now. No, wait. He was like the mandatory or something. And there is, ¿a quién le vas? That's a hard one because Arreola always gives good fights. I'm gonna have to go with Andy Ruiz just because he's fresher. Arreola's already been through so many tremendous battles, I think this is just one last cool final payday for him. But he's been on his way out. Yes, Serrano. That's gonna be good, guys. Support women's boxing and tune into this. And Ring City USA cards are just always so good. So you guys gotta do it. There's no VADA testing. Why is juice to the gills? Well, Andre, if you do not recall, Povetkin has also previously tested positive for PD. So both those motherfuckers probably hella juiced. Like that, I would have doubted. Serrano Bermudez Thursday night. Yes, everybody tune in to Ring City USA. Excellent month for boxing. We did because we had really good fucking cards since the beginning. And then, ¿cómo se llama? Lee had a super cool, tremendous knockout too on Showbox. Really, it was a good fucking week. Andre Chica called me crazy, but Canelo needs to help on that Bertabiev fight. I think Bertabiev was already older and he's been put down before, but he does still have tremendous power. And it's not like, okay, let's say, like you saw now that he didn't look as tremendous as he usually does, right? If Canelo beats him, they're just going to say that. They're just going to say, oh, well, Bertabiev was already old, or he had already gotten exposed, or he aged overnight, or whatever. Canelo, they won't give him credit. But maybe. I feel like he's going to fight as he claims he is, BJ Saunders, unless BJ Saunders does something to fuck the shit up. Sort of God, I'm going to whack him if he does. Plant in September, and then I think a third Triple G does happen probably like in December or like in 2022. Hi Jake, how are you? Bertabiev does miss. I would love to see that. I would sell my kids to the circus to be able to go to that fight. Am I going what? Hold on. Yes, I want to. I might it's just, oh my God, the flights to Texas have so much turbulence, and I fucking hate flying. It is so fucking horrible. I was crying. Like, I'm really bad with my anxiety, so flights are horrible to me. And both of the flights there and back had really horrible turbulence, and it was not a fun time. So I might drive. I might take a fucking road trip and go. But I do want to go. I do want to go to that fight. When and who is Zurdo fighting? I don't know. I know he just signed with Golden Boy. Zurdo recently signed a contract with Golden Boy. I don't remember if it's like a multi-fight or what, but he is with Golden Boy now. I don't know. He needs to do something. Berta Biev often looks bad. That's why he took Teddy Atlas off the TV for saying Berta Biev looked bad. Berta Biev has been down before. Remember that. Like, Berta Biev goes toe to toe with guys and he gets clipped, but he still has that power. Aw, Jake, you don't gotta do all that. You don't gotta do all that, but I appreciate you. You're the best. And I really enjoyed meeting you this weekend and having drinks on that Golden Boy money. Golden Boy paid for our beers, so at least we got that out of the weekend besides the good fights. But I appreciate you. Zurdo beats Bertabiev? No. I mean, I don't know. Zurdo, I know it's gonna be mean. Zurdo has never impressed me like that. Like, he's never impressed me. I would love to see it so that maybe he can impress me. It's just, I don't. I just don't. Bivol, yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see. How do you guys pronounce that? I pronounce it Bivol, but because I'm Mexican, I know people say Bivol. I don't know. I need to ask him how they pronounce it in Russian. Bivol, I think it's Bivol because I heard the lady saying it one time. I don't know, one of those people. They're scary as fuck. But yes, he does. But Bivol is also like a smaller 175. I would love to see Bivol at 168. And I feel like he'd do. He just announced a fight. He's fighting some other guy we have to box rec. But I can't wait to see him fight some good fighters again. I want him to make like a unification and not just like defenses. I think it will be sold out, yes, because the Virgil fight sold out, and it's Virgil, and it is his hometown, but it's Canelo, and I feel like Canelo. I think it will, but I don't know. I think it will. Jake, you're the best. Thank you. So yes, you'd bet on it. I wouldn't bet on that, but I do need to start betting on boxing though, because when Ryan Garcia was fighting Luke Campbell, I said it would go to the 7th round, and I said it was going to be a left from Ryan KO 7th round, and it happened. And I'm like, bro, I should have bet. And I also said that Ortiz would stop Hooker in the 7th, and it happened. Man, other people making money off of my fucking picks. I have friends who message me like, you made me money. One of my friends was in Vegas, and he's like, I won money because of you. Thanks. I'm like, can you slide some of that shit over to me? Man, I need to start betting. But where's Ringwalk John when you need him? He's fighting Richardson. Yeah, it's just one of those fights. I think it's a stay busy fight, but it's a stay busy fight for someone to come back, and Bivol hasn't fought in a long time, so I feel like he does need the rounds, you know what I mean? Thank you, Edgar, as well. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Northeast Los Angeles, thank you so much. Hopefully we can catch a beer one time now that things are kind of opening here in LA. Not as great at Texas. Everything's open. People don't give a fuck. People don't wear masks. And if they do, they wear them like this. But here, when hopefully we get a fight soon and we can have a beer, Edgar. We can have a beer. Okay, let's see. Last comments. If Bud fights Josito next, no, he won't. He won't. That's like, Josito's also a PBC fighter, and I don't think Crawford would do any business with PBC anyway. If you can pick rounds, you can. I know. That's why I'm like, shit. Even if I would have just bet like $100, like that would make me so much money. I don't know why I don't. I'm gonna try to start doing that now. But we've been here for over an hour, so I do appreciate you guys being here and talking to me and keeping me company, because I do love. Hi, Leo. You need to hit me up so we can go together, live together. But yeah, check out the interviews I did with Virgil and his dad. Virgil talks about Boots Ennis, right? Because everybody mentions Boots Ennis when you mention him, because they're both great up and comers. I cannot wait to see Enes takes on Lipinets. That's gonna be fucking cool too. I can't wait to see that shit. Lipinets is also a hard hitter. You know, he's also coming up. He's been at 140 before. That's where he had his championship that Mikey took away, right? So I cannot wait to see Enes. So I did ask Virgil about Enes. I asked him about the missing of the weight. I asked him about the fight, all of that. I have questions like that with his dad. I asked him about the missing weight. I asked him about Crawford, about Keith. He said they flatlined Keith. And about the Fernando Vargas thing that everybody keeps mentioning, right? Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, wait, he's just like he's gonna be another Fernando Vargas," right? So check those out. They're in my channel right now. Hello, New Leaf. You're late because I'm leaving. I'm sorry. Thank you guys. I really appreciate. Let's see. What's your prediction? I think that this time Whyte does get his revenge because Povetkin's older, and I think he got COVID and all of that. But I would love to see him get got again. I would love to see him get floored again. My birthday's on March 26th. This is before that. I would love this to be my birthday present. So I have two things to celebrate. I mean, the day before. so I can celebrate the next day, right? And keep the party going. What was the crazy fight you seen in person, atmosphere-wise? Atmosphere-wise. I think Canelo Triple G. But you guys have to understand that I did not really start going to fights up until I didn't start going to fights till 2017. Like I didn't go to previous fights. Like I wasn't I never really went to fights. I just wasn't, I don't know how to explain it. I just never did. And then I started going and I love that shit. Canelo Triple G was very, very electrifying. Both fights. Kovalev versus Ward. The first one was electrifying in the atmosphere too. One of Eddie Hearn's cards here with the one with Estrada and Rungvisai. That was here, the rematch. That had a really stacked card. And it was crazy. In Mexico, I went to one of Estrada's fights in Mexico, in Hermosillo, where it's his home state of Sonora. Mexicans just wild. Throw shit even though they're winning. It's crazy. Yeah, I think those were really good. I know you're a real good friend of Senora Estrada. I have not talked to her. I'm not like her good friend. I'm cool with her. Like I don't know about friend. That's like really personal. But I have not. I congratulate her though. Hopefully I'll see her soon and I could talk to her about it. Maybe I'll try to get an interview with her because we are mutuals on social media and stuff. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see. Most of the time I usually kind of let them rest or let them kind of chill, So I will try to get more interviews also for the up and coming fights. And again, hopefully I'll be in Texas for Canelo and BJ Saunders, bringing you guys that coverage. I don't know if it'll be awkward between me and Billy Joe because my username is Billy Ho Saunders and Lily Ho Saunders. So I don't know how that's gonna work if he ever finds out that is me. But hey, it's a risk I'm willing to take just to go see that fight. I'll give them spaces. So you guys have a really good night. Follow me on socials below. Billy Ho Saunders and Lily Ho Saunders on Twitter. Billy Ho was too long for Twitter, I guess. But Chris, you said it, okay? You said it, Chris. You said it. I'm holding you up to that. It was confirmed about the hooker. Yeah, no, it was obvious just by looking at the footage. He did break his hand or dislocated something. Most definitely. I never doubted that. And you know what? Before we leave, fuck it. Let's play that. Let's play that video of Hooker telling everybody, fuck y'all, I'm a warrior. Let's play that because that was just too legendary. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that here because it would be a great way to end this live. Because he's just a shit for that. Let's do this. I'm gonna put the volume very, very high so that you guys are able to hear it. And let's see. Let's play it. Is it showing? Let's see. Let's play it. Let's play it.
My hand bust on the same time. I mean, look at this replay. My hand pop. Look, I got a knot. I got a knot in my hand. Hey, and everybody booing. Fuck y'all. Y'all know I'm a warrior. Fuck y'all. What's up? My hand bust on the same time. I mean, look at this replay. My hand pop. Look at
And he just like left the ring. He just left the fucking ring. He's like, that's some G shit. That's like better than a mic drop. Much better than a mic drop. So props to Hooker, props to Virgil Ortiz. Can't wait for the next one. And I will see you guys on next Monday for next live. Okay? I'll see you guys. Can't wait to talk to you guys. And again, follow me on all my social medias. Yes, what a legend. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you for keeping me company in quarantine and in talking boxing with me. You guys have a